Did he do it? Diddy did it. Anyway, Diddy is disgusting, according to Anthony Fantano. I believe everything they're saying about him. So let's just see what Anthony Fantano has to say about it.
I am Barack Obama. I am Barack Obama.
Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, coming on here to talk about a pretty massive story that could potentially lead to the downfall of one of the biggest moguls in music of all time. That would be Sean Combs, aka P. Diddy, FKA Puff Daddy, recently came out with a Grammy
Puff Daddy? What a name like that.
nominated record, the Love album. Given that the first week sales of that record were pretty dismal and there wasn't really much of a demand among my audience to cover it, I think that it may be in order to remind you guys just how huge of a figure P. Diddy is. As the founder of Bad Boy Records, this guy not only was responsible for putting artists like Craig Mack and Biggie, as well as Mace, Faith Evans on the map, but he was a major part of mainstreaming hip-hop music throughout the 90s and the 2000s. The guy has been behind a lot of massive hits throughout the hip-hop world over the course of his career, made a lot of very big, very correct, and essential calls in terms of putting on and popularizing.
Okay, why is he glazing him right now? Kind of a weird way to start a video that's about him being disgusting.
Particular artists. But then he took that success he saw in music and then leveraged it in a series of even more impressive business ventures in fashion, in alcohol, in
I thought he was going to say leveraged it to take advantage of people, but
video production and media broadly through Revolt TV. When it comes to being a mogul in the music world, few people exemplify that label as well as Diddy has. Even if a lot of that cultural power and influence I was just talking about didn't carry over all that well into the 2010s and especially the 2020s. With that being said, though, Diddy has recently been put on the defensive through a series of recent
hoodie looks like a shoe. I wonder if it's meant to look like that. Sorry.
allegations. The first and biggest of these recent ones being filed against him by...
Look at him. It all makes sense now, doesn't it? Look at that little earring.
My former girlfriend Cassie Ventura. That whole thing ended up getting settled out of court. Similar allegations were made by other individuals, and those cases seem to have been treated much the same way. But this most recent court document filed in the state of New York against Diddy and a whole bunch of other defendants features dozens and dozens and dozens of pages of allegations that are absolutely off the wall, insane, and I am not saying that to be hyperbolic or salacious or anything like that. Now, it's quickly worth noting that this is obviously not the type of content we cover on this channel on a regular basis. Call me old school, but I just personally see things like articles and text-based journalism as a superior place to deal with and spread important information around sensitive topics like SA. However, these recent Diddy allegations...
One thing about me though, I'm gonna post whatever on this channel. You guys see that money thing I did last time? 20-minute video about the state of the US economics. I don't care, bro. We can watch whatever I find interesting, bro.
Reach so far beyond that and implicate numerous individuals that will honestly leave you scratching your head. And just the layers to the story told in these court documents, it's really on the level of a Cosby or a Weinstein or an R. Kelly type situation where there's lots of individuals who are aware of everything that's going on. And because Diddy is this very well-known, powerful figure with a lot of influence, a lot of power, a lot of money, everyone's just kind of allowing it to happen, taking part. The documents themselves literally liken Diddy to Epstein. It's like on that level of control and conspiracy and manipulation. And again, if you go through the details of these allegations, you will not only see proof in images, proof in video stills, but also bits of stories dealing in grooming, coercion, assault, blackmail, trafficking, illegal drug use, prostitution, stuff involving minors,
Once you throw in trafficking as well on top of all of this, and minors, it's not looking good for him, bro. It's not looking good for him at all. They got him.
drugs and drinks, presumably without people sort of knowing, violent threats, even illicit sexual acts involving a few names that were redacted. But once you actually kind of read the Cliff Note info on these individuals, it's kind of apparent who they are. In section 71 of the court document, there is a rapper whose name is redacted, but then shortly under that, it says he is a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. Not sure we need to put two in.
Hold on. When I got a girl around me, I'm twice a day. Ask some of your favorites. Don't control me, but it's like a high. One love to the people, but the juicy... I done ran red lights to get that feeling. Y'all weird. Huh? What is this? What? So they're saying that Meek Mill was smashing Diddy? No way, bruh. That's how he's defending himself? Talking about smashing girls twice a day? Like, what? That's his defense?
And two together on who that might in fact be. Also an R&B singer too, whose name is redacted, but it says he performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency. There are other
Who wrote this shit? How is it redacted? And then they give the most perfect context to know exactly who it is.
Figures whose names and likenesses are not redacted at all in these court documents. People like Cuba Gooding Jr., as well as one half of the City Girls, Young Miami, who's been public with Diddy for a while now. She would be witness to or part of any of the debauchery that's being talked about in these documents. Getting ahead of myself, I would like to say that the allegations in these documents are being made by a music producer who worked with Diddy, specifically very closely during this Love album era, literally living with him for quite a time and contributing to a good handful of songs on the Love album record. However, when you
gotta look out for your producers, brother. Gotta look out for them.
You actually look at the details of these court documents, it's very clear that a majority of his time living under, Diddy's roof, he was not spending it working on the record. He was instead spending this time being treated like absolute trash and being coerced into doing a ton of things that are not only illegal, but he clearly did not want to do if, again, his side of the story here is 100%. I will tie this video up to say that the story being told here is one that doesn't feel all that unfamiliar these days in the music industry. It's an absolute power corrupts absolutely type situation for sure. Diddy is obviously far from the first person to take advantage of their power and money and influence in this way, and he will surely not be the last. Allegedly. But finally not.
And he allegedly got Tupac killed. Did he do that too?
Not all of the details of these allegations need to stick in order for them to take down Diddy because they're so huge and so far-reaching. Even only a fraction of them could be totally provable and true, and it would deeply and massively diminish his power and influence, not to mention the potential legal troubles to follow as a result of this because the vast majority of everything being documented here is so incredibly illegal. Literally name an illegal thing and it's turning up somewhere in these pages. That is how bad it is.
Here's my take on this. Lock him up, bro. The way I see it is if even half of this is true, just lock him up, bro. Like, I don't care.
I am Barack Obama. I am Barack Obama.